right, so it's a couple days away from Madden actually coming out, and I've been trying to figure out what teams I'm going to be able to use, at least for an offline franchise. I don't think I'll have the time to do an online franchise. And I think it's like maybe four or five. Four, probably for sure, on teams that could be used just to kind of get something going. And in no particular order, I was kind of just looking around, and Arizona is one that I think would be pretty good to rebuild, or at least try to restart them in a sense of the word. You have Buda Baker, who's the only 90 overall, who, if we're correct, requested a trade, so could go down that line. And then your next best player is Marquise Brown at 84, and you only have one, two, three, four, 80, at least 80 overall players. 5, 6, 7, 8 if you want to count everybody who's a 79. I would probably get like an upgrade by week 1 of the regular season. And after that, it's 77 and below. Like, the team has a lot to go through, and especially with being in the same division as the 49ers, who are the powerhouse of that division. And you have the Seahawks, who, if they play, like, I want to say halfway decent football, then they have a chance where they could probably make the playoffs too. That's another team you'd have to worry about in this division. Along with the Rams, who, as shot as they are, they still have some playmakers. I mean, you still have Aaron Donald on there. You still have Cooper Kupp, those guys, which Aaron Donald should retire in Madden pretty soon. Cooper Kupp, I feel like you can get like maybe a few more seasons out of that. But like, when I just look at the Cardinals, I just see a team that needs help, which, I mean, they're gonna get it. You're not. What is it? Kyler is still injured, or at least that's the way it's looking. He's not gonna be able to play for nearly the first season. I mean, I can see it being fun trying to figure out, okay, how are we gonna make this team somewhat positive throughout the first season? Then get Kyler back and try to rebuild the team. Maybe even, what is it? Maybe even just get rid of Kyler altogether. And I only bring that up because it's like, somewhat real world storylines where everything that's going on, him and his little Call of Duty addiction. I mean, while he's not playing right now, he has all the time in the world to do that when he should rehab and all that. But back to just the main side of the team, you could probably trade away Buda Baker, probably trade him to the AFC just so you don't have to play him that as much. Marquise Brown becomes your next best player at 97 speed. Rondell Moore is your other receiver at 94 speed. I mean, you lost DeAndre Hopkins, so you still have an older tight end, and Zach Ertz you're probably going to end up replacing. And you have Isaiah Simmons, who's back at safety. Probably can come down a linebacker just for nickel downs. But if you get rid of Buda, then you kind of need to leave him back there, or just figure out your entire safety situation altogether. So, Cards could be one that's just like, I think, a few years away. And to make things better, they're a team that has never won a Super Bowl. So that's like a mini goal that can be accomplished. So, Cardinals are one team that I'm looking at. I'm not going to say I'm leaning like heavily for them, but they are a team that I look at and I go, that is going to be infuriatingly fun. Because I did the Texans, or at least I tried to do Texans for 2 years, and I was not patient enough. So that's going to be my big thing, is trying to be patient. And I wanna force that, and with all the other stuff going on, I feel like I can do it this time. So let's go take a look at the second team that I'm thinking of. Okay, so team number 2. I say no particular order, and here I am giving numbers. I'm thinking Patriots, and hear me out with this one. Their division the AFC East is stacked. You have the Bills, who are still a threat to make the playoffs. The Dolphins, who, if they are able to stay healthy, can make the playoffs. I shouldn't be struggling with this. I had this whole thing going. And you have the Jets that have Aaron Rodgers. Don't know why I couldn't remember that one. But great defense, should still have a somewhat good to great defense. Should be a good to great defense. And I'm not going to say the Patriots aren't going to be a good to great defense. I just think the whole thing with this team, like everybody in there is going to be relying on their defense, and everybody has speed somewhere except for, well, I can't even say they don't have speed anymore because they have Thornton, who needs to be used properly. But back to the main point, the Patriots, who potentially could be the worst, like not in a terrible, terrible way. They might be bad by like a game or two behind everybody else, but essentially could be the worst team in this division talent wise. Brought in Juju Smith-Schuster. They still have Matt Judon. Where is the quarterback? They also, who is it? Christian Gonzalez at a 77. I feel like I still haven't seen Mac Jones. Where is that boy, Mac Jones? At a 74 overall. That's 80 speed, but at a 74 overall. I think we're going into the third year, so we got to figure out, okay, is it worth continuing to go in with Mac Jones? Or is it getting to the time where you need to find somebody else? I mean, development-wise, might not have developed enough, or might have even regressed. You're still gonna have good defense if you use. I'm still gonna have good defense using the Patriots. I'll say that. And then just got to figure out the offense altogether. I mean, with them having Gesicki, excuse me, man. I'm sorry. But them having Gesicki and Hunter Henry, they're trying to go back to that two tight end when they had Gronk and Hernandez. But, I expect them to be using two tight ends a whole lot. I'm not going to say they got to be under center, but I am saying like they're probably going to be two tight ends a whole lot. I don't see any reason why they would not do that. But 89 overall is the highest. And this team is pretty much full of 80s. So the only thing you really need to worry about is just making sure to play smart football and maybe figure out that quarterback position, maybe even running back. Just kind of figure out that backfield and just slowly build them up. Try to keep the defense as well as you can and develop guys behind it. Develop the guys behind. But I mean, it looks like what? After the 80s, it drops pretty quickly, actually. Actually, no, because the first almost 20, I think it shows 2 rows of 10. Almost the first 20 are like high 70s, low 8, or like almost 90 to high 70. So then it's just depth on this team that you got to worry about a tiny bit. So Patriots are more not necessarily like a team that needs to be rebuilt, but just they are competing in what arguably should be the most competitive division in the AFC this year. The only division that could probably be more competitive, and I say could, and that's a very, very weak could because of the last like 1 or 2 years that they've been doing this, it would be the AFC West. Because of all the stuff that went on, and the Chiefs still managed to walk out of there, which is crazy. So it's Cards, Patriots. Let's go look at another team. I don't know about Denver. I'm thinking about it. Like, Denver could be a team. This one's kind of off script. Like, as if I actually have a script. I'm only saying Denver. Like, when I look at Denver, it's more of they haven't won anything in the last, like, almost, like, besides that last Super Bowl almost 10 years ago. Like, they haven't done anything since. So got Russell Wilson, who hopefully will have a bounce back year. You have a defense that was doing incredible things and just needed an offense. 77, not terrible. Now you just need an offense that can actually play a more positive role this season. And having Sean Payton as your head coach should fix a lot of that in real life. But in Madden, don't know. I don't know how the Simmons is going to go. Maybe they play really good. Maybe they play really bad. But again, the division that they're in, though, is what makes things so much more difficult. Like a lot of teams are actually near even. But their division, every single one of these teams have pass rushers. They all got pass rushers. They need to work on their offense. They need to develop this quarterback a little bit more. And that's not saying like he's not ready. It's just they need to get his positives to play a bigger impact. Cut him loose a little more. Let him really like get things done. They'll figure this out with Jimmy G and Devontae Adams, who might not even want to be there if they're not a contender. So, if you go bad with the Raiders, you could trade him after a year. Or trade him after a year. Try to get some significant picks because it's still Devontae Adams, who's like a 97 overall. But back to Denver, the team that we're talking about here. Their highest overall player is Patrick Surtain. I've heard Surtain and Surtain, so, whichever way it is, somebody please correct me. At a 94 overall, so you won't have to worry about corner. You still have Justin Simmons at safety. Jerry Jeudy is the number one receiver. Randy Gregory is your best pass rusher. I feel like you would just try to add depth to the defense, figure out what you're going to do on offense. You might end up drafting another QB, kind of sitting in behind Russell until he passes, trade Russell away if he doesn't have a good year. I mean, because 77 and his age, he's not really going to progress or develop any further. It's just going to be regression. And with the amount of money that they signed him to, it's going to be hard to get that off your books. So you're going to have to use him. You might as well get the money worth. So, the Broncos wouldn't be a terrible team. Whatever team I do, I would do head coach. And yeah, that's the only thing that sucks about it is teams that have a new head coach would be like, oh, well, here comes, for instance, Goldemite, because that's the whole thing with this channel is having Goldemite up there. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I really do see the potential with the Broncos, and I feel like they could be a whole lot of fun. They also have that home field advantage. Well, your players should have more stamina just in general, playing at Mile High, playing in the most competitive division. You get to go against the Chiefs. You get to go against the Chargers defense and the Raiders defense, all having good pass rushers. You have a pass rush as well, but trying to get past all that. And you shouldn't win anything year one. This team, I could see it. I'm gonna make another video after Madden comes out and play a couple games and have some fun. Where I talk about the teams, but I'll be honest with you, Denver could be a good team, and I'm trying my hardest not to I want to support other creators because I would love for us all to get support, and I want to get this thing off the ground finally. I'll watch their videos, but if anybody does the Broncos, I'm gonna be so mad. But there's still a comment section of what team should I do. But there's Denver. I didn't even go through that much of their roster. I don't think they're terrible. I think it's gonna be a tough year because of the division they're in. And the fact that some of your players are just gonna be older. And you got to really try to develop some people or really get it, or really just try to get them out the way and find yourself some rookies. It's going to be tough. You're not going to win anything probably for the first 2 seasons. You have to really get through it. You're gonna go through it with this team, and I would love that. Like online wise, I feel like any team can beat any team because it's all about user. I just don't have the time for that. Which I can't wait until maybe my work schedule changes and I get the time for that, because I would love to do an online franchise, a real sim style TFGO USFL like we used to do back in the day, back in 19 and 20. I'm not gonna confirm the Broncos, but I can tell you I'm leaning to them now. Now that I've like looked at the roster a little bit more, because I was thinking about them. Like if I'm honest, here I mean, Washington wouldn't be a bad team, and I only say, and I mean that because not necessarily that their roster needs that much work. I mean, they need a quarterback to figure that out, but they have a good defense. I mean, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of the top, what is that, 10 people that show up are defense. Like, this is a defensive team. Maybe you can do head coach, kick out Ron Rivera, maybe do an owner. Can't bring back the Redskins in the game. I don't think they're going to allow that, but could essentially, hey, under new ownership, if they don't have that already in Madden, or you can continue that story. And, excuse me, continue that story you can continue the story of them going under new ownership and maybe moving them, I don't know, maybe a little south, maybe like one down south, maybe even Brooklyn. I mean, they are the NFC East that the Cowboys are in Texas, which, you know, division alignments don't have to make sense. I mean, Indianapolis is for the AFC South, and they are pretty in like mid United States. But I mean, also, like the first page has just about everybody who's high. After that, it's 79 overall. It's the next best player. So this roster, I mean, this team has won a Super Bowl before, if I'm correct. But the roster after your top 10 could probably use some work. And again, it's a pattern here that I hope is being seen. Of your division is going to play really well, and then you're kind of at the bottom of it. That's with Washington. They came in last. They were last year. Like the Jets, who now have Aaron Rodgers, should probably leapfrog the Patriots and the Dolphins. And they're going to contend with the Bills, but this entire division is going to be playing their butts off. This division is going to be playing their butts off. Like this entire division could probably make the playoffs. I think Chiefs make it. Like out of the AFC, for these three divisions, at any particular point, all four of them could make it from one division. I don't know about you. I don't know about the Broncos, and Patriots are kind of iffy. Maybe the Raiders are iffy too. But y'all, like, AFC East could probably make it, and AFC North could probably make it. If Deshaun Watson gets it together, they'll be fine. And as for the South, Jags probably going to walk away with that division. And in the NFC, Commanders were last. Cardinals were last. And that's Commanders and Cardinals, who were both last. Both teams looking at. And they weren't even last by much. This record should be a joke for this team, but that's just, you know, the past of being, you know, seeing the Cowboys play 8-8 for so long, but they're doing just fine now. But 8-8-1, 4-13. This division has probably be way easy to win. You just got to play competent football for like 12 weeks. I don't know, man. I think the Lions walk away with that one. But it would be too easy to rebuild one of those teams. So Commanders, Cardinals, Patriots, Broncos. I really only want to do the East and the West. But those are the four teams. I'll probably go more in depth once I start playing the game and once I am able to see who exactly, what all like everything and play and get more used to stuff. But I mean, those are the 4 teams. So I guess I'll leave like a little comment down there. If this video gets 5 likes, that'd be great. That would be super amazing. But I'll start getting some stuff together and getting everything ready for what will hopefully be a long series in Madden. I might get like 2 series together. I think I want to do YouTube stuff is not easy, man. Like, it's easy, but I make it more difficult. I want to do a franchise, and I want to do a career mode. I just got to figure out a superstar mode. I want to figure out what position I want to use, and I got to figure out like what character I want to create. Because unless if I'm able to go back and like really like look at those franchises, maybe I can pull somebody. But I don't think I've had an inspirational franchise yet, or a player that's super inspirational. So we'll go ahead and get this thing chopped up. But we're asking for 5 likes in the video. That's it. Not like a whole lot. Just some views, maybe a like. Like, if you can like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. But main point: Patriots, Broncos, Commanders, Cardinals. What team to use? That's the question. Leave it up to a vote. If nobody votes, then I kind of have the team ready, and I don't want to say votes are invalid, because I really do want to go if you guys want to see this team, I'll make it work. But I do have an idea of where I want to go with this, and I want to give it a try, and I want to see how things go. But I will see you guys when the game comes out. Have something come out quick, and we'll get this thing rolling. Get some gameplay up on here, and we're gonna make this thing go big. That's the plan. So I'll see you guys in the next one.